I think when it comes to interpersonal relationship between human beings, we have been given very many ideals as to how we are supposed to go about it, like love thy neighbor as thyself and do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And these two sutras come from Christian ethics, but corresponding ones exist in almost every religion, including Hinduism. So I'm not going to go into those equivalent details. But we have been given all these ideals, and the understanding is, which is of course completely wrong, that with the help of all these ideals, we are supposed to come out victorious in every relationship. Now, on the other hand, if you look at what is transpiring in relationships, you find that it is the most difficult area of human life, where getting hurt, two people getting hurt, whether it is the father and the child, the mother and the child, or husband and wife, or two friends, two business partners getting hurt, is the commonest phenomena. And before we venture to offer some solutions as to how we may go about relationship, we've got to understand what actually the problem is. Now, the problem is the following, and this has not been recognized, that when two individuals are faced with each other, the truth is that every individual feels a sovereignty within himself or herself. And you have almost an unconscious expectation that this sovereignty or royal sense of self will be seen by the opposite party and acknowledged by the opposite party, so that you begin the relationship on a note of wellness or inner well-being. And the same happens to the other person. He also has a feeling of royal sovereignty, and he wants the other person to recognize it. And when that is not coming forth, that recognition, then you feel hurt. And the fact is that even though two human beings, they're definitely sovereign within themselves, but then the two sovereign selves do not have a meeting with each other. What meets with each other is the self of one individual and the self of another individual. And the self is just a shadow of that sovereignty for one person, and again, shadow of the sovereignty of the other person. Now, the sovereign feeling of the self is infinite, it cannot get hurt. But the self, which is just a vibration coming from that sovereign nature, is very limited, made up of a series of images as to what one is. And this invariably, these string of images, these get hurt. And when we get hurt, that relationship obviously breaks down. And therefore, the real solution to the problem of relationship is, can the sense of sovereignty in one individual meet with the sense of sovereignty in another individual, and between them there is not going to be any sense of division? Can that meeting happen? And is that meeting possible if the two selves, which are limited emanations of each sovereignty, subside and set under the horizon, like the sunset, they set under the horizon? Then can the two sovereignties come face to face? Then will there be harmony, will there be love, or will there be a quarrel? That's the whole question. We've got to think about that.